Hi, welcome. This is Arts Alive. My name is Courtney Terry. My guest today is Ramsey McPhillips, the director and founder of Zero Waste Mcminnville, and one of the participants in the Zero Waste Recycled Arts Festival that is happening this June. Ramsey, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we were talking before, so this will be the second Recycled Arts Festival that we've had, but that first one happened before the pandemic, and now this one will be this year.
Right. It was sort of the brainchild or the drift from other municipalities that have similar events of Beth Rankin, who brought it to Zero Waste Mcminnville with the idea that since we're so engrossed in trying to find places for recycled objects and things other than landfill, that it'd be really great to put them into pieces of art. And that was her gift to the community to start this festival at Linfield. And it went really well, so much that we needed to move on to the county fairgrounds where we could spread out. Right.
And so explain a little bit for me, Recycled Arts Festival, so I'm imagining that there will be artists, there will be booths, what are all the things that are going to be happening?
There's going to be 50 artists, everything from fabric artists who are taking old pieces of fabric or cloth and making them into gorgeous scarves and coats and different art objects, and old rubber tires that you would never in a million years know they were rubber tires because they're beautiful things that you can hang things on in your wall. A lot of jewelry people. There's going to be 50 artists included in the gamut of display, bead artists, a lot of objects that you can put in your garden, and at least 30% of the material that they're used is required to have been something that otherwise would have been thrown away. So it's being repurposed, reused. And there's a whole world out there of these people who are doing things like this, which is incredible. So that's what basically the basis of the festival is. And then we've added on this time sustainability. Mm-hmm. So there's sort of a salt and peppering of businesses that are involved in the sustainability world at this point. It's our practice this year. So next year we're going to really build it up better, but this is the baby step of adding in sustainability. Stores that also are involved with repurposing, recycling, or just making sure that things don't end up in the landfill or incinerators.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then so the artist, and then you had mentioned there's an educational component for the public, and what other activities for kids?
There's incredible. So presently, some of the kids are being given these packages of materials that they can then recreate into something artistic. Neat. And then bring and present to the festival on the day of, which is, of course, June 4th and 5th.
Yes.
And so on Saturday, I am also, along with all the incredible artists and the food trucks, there is our annual event called Compost Palooza, where we celebrate everything involved with decomposition of waste into compost. So that's going to be outside. Mm-hmm. It's going to include a petting zoo where I bring in some of my baby lambs and goats and turkey, and kids can play around and see firsthand where the poop comes from.
Important.
It is really important for fertility. And then there will be plant starts for sale as well.
Oh,
and
wow.
then on another part of the campus of the county fair mm-hmm. is a new thing starting, and that's James Recycling. It's a nonprofit that is coming from outside of the community on a scheduled basis to collect all the plastic that otherwise is not collected by our vendor, Recology. Hard to recycle plastics. And there's a small up fee, I think it's $3, and you can just bring bucket loads of this stuff that you've collected between now and then.
Oh, wow.
And give it to them, and they take it to Portland where it is in a nonprofit. I believe their cause is autism. So the money and the services are directed towards that community.
Oh, wow.
And they will actually repurpose the plastic into things such as, patio furniture or fence post or something like that. it's a really, really wonderful nonprofit that we've incorporated into the Sustainability Festival.
Oh, that's cool. And I can imagine it would be, I mean, I just know personally, I don't think a lot of folks really know what, they think there's just, oh, we have a recycling bin, anything can be recycled, and not necessarily understanding that it takes certain kinds of machines to be able to recycle certain products. So
it's one of the blockades of just generic recycling. There's contamination, which can really mix things up. If a batch gets contaminated with some gooey thing, unfortunately they have to throw the whole batch away of what otherwise would be recycled. So as an organization, Zero Waste Mcminnville was originated to be an answer to landfilling. It was a part of the community that was sort of saying, no, we don't want a landfill in our river, destroying our farmland. So what was going to be the answer? So that's the initiation of Zero Waste Mcminnville. And zero waste by definition is when you take away from landfills and incinerators 90% of our trash.
Wow.
Only 10% should go to the landfill. So yes, so it's our job to educate the public about how you can properly sort the garbage into food waste, into plastic waste, into glass, paper, etc. And we will go to any business and we will do an audit, and we have yet to not be able to lower a garbage bill. If you invite us into your business, we will show you how you can reorganize your recycling services. Recology does the same thing. We're really lucky to have Recology as our vendor. They're a really wonderful company that is trying to work alongside us. And they're a big sponsor, of course, of the festival.
Yay!
Right, which is incredible, right. We have a beautiful catalog that's going to come out, and we have wonderful sponsors as well that's going to have every artist in it and a picture or two of their wares, their jewelry, or their fabric art, or their sculpture. There's one guy who's really great who's taking old guitars from thrift stores and estate sales and festooning them with incredible stuff as objects on the wall. They're beautiful. I mean, it's really imaginative what's going on. And people, these artists are coming from outside of our community, many of them. And as are the people who will be coming to buy and hang out with the food trucks, and Caesar, the llama, who will be there, right?
On Sunday,
on
I
Sunday,
believe.
right,
Yep.
right. And along with another organization, which is sort of a lateral organization that's formed out of the zero waste movement, and that's Edible Landscapes of Yamhill County.
Oh, okay.
It's dedicated to proliferating gardens throughout the community that grow food for the reason of trying to mitigate a little bit of climate change, and also just to get people healthy, solve some of the issues with food sheds that, shadows where there isn't food, and to provide food for some of the soup kitchens and churches and YCAP that could use the food to distribute to people who are in need.
And I know
that's on Sunday.
That's on Sunday.
And they will be giving, if you come early,
okay.
There will be some plant starts given away on Sunday.
Oh, neat.
We've got kids who are dressing up as hippies, farmers, or baseball concession guys with trays.
Oh, nice.
And they will go on the hour out into the community who are there shopping and give out tomatoes, peppers, and squash.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're trying to incorporate all levels of the community into this sort of celebration of sustainability and art.
Oh, neat. For those who have just joined us, I'm talking with Ramsey McPhillips about the upcoming Recycled Art Festival that'll be on June 4th and 5th, Saturday and Sunday. And so you mentioned that there are all these artists. How did you find the artists? Are they...
It's really Beth Rankin, who's just been so on it. She's gone to all the other festivals around the state, which coincidentally, most of them have closed because of the pandemic. But because we're outside much of our festival at the festival, and we've got this window of pandemic, backtracking, we're hoping to squeeze this in on June 4th and 5th. And what Beth has really, really done, which is amazing, is gotten this cabal of volunteers, which we're still short on. We really need people to come in. So if you're an artist and you want to be in that milieu, or you're a family and you want to show your kids, community support, or if you're someone who's just now coming out of the cloud of the pandemic and you've been sitting at home watching YouTube too much and you want to come out into the public again, this is going to be a safe, wonderful way to get out into the community and do something really wonderful. So we highly urge that anyone who wants to volunteer, hang out with the animals, give plants out, just work with the artists, setting up things, tearing down, doing the recycling. We will be making sure the food trucks are doing proper sorting of garbage. please go to our website at zerowastemcminnville.org and sign up, and we will contact you to get you on the list of volunteers that we so desperately need.
Excellent. And it sounds like you have all ages that are, you'll take all ages of
we
volunteers.
We do definitely take it. Nothing makes me happier than when a whole family shows up, and it's just a couple hours, and it's really safe and clean and very well organized, and it's just a very upbeat, really fun thing to do for a family and to show kids, where our trash goes and that it's possible to do the right thing with it.
And kind of bridging that disconnect between when you throw something away, what happens to it, and then also being able to see out in the community all the different ways.
Right. Yeah, our tagline is helping McMinnville sort it out.
Nice.
So,
Perfect. Are there any costs for attending?
It's totally free.
Great.
Parking is free.
Okay.
Right. There's going to be quite a bit of going on. There's a big rodeo and a car racing thing, and of course collecting the plastic off over by the garden section, and then our 50 artists plus all the sustainability businesses and petting zoo and animals. So there is no cost. It's totally free. But we would love it if you come and buy, some earrings or a guitar you put on your wall, and some of the lovely food from our food trucks, and go away with some plant starts. And just, community efforts really are only as good as the effort the community puts in. So this is a start of something that could be really big. We want it to grow every year. So I really hope that people will contribute their body and their support by just wandering through and just coming. Last time we had 1,000 people at the library at Linfield.
Wow.
So you can see how this will help with the commerce of McMinnville if we can make this a regional event and really promote creativity.
Yes. It feels like a lot of environmentally conscious folks kind of coming into this, that sounds like a good flood of tourism to have.
Beth has done a wonderful job of really putting this together and then finding sort of satellite organizations that can hook in, who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to get a mass of people to come and participate in what it is that they're advocating or selling or what they believe holistically for the planet.
And it's not, especially since it's not just it's Yamhill County based, but since you're bringing in all these outside folks, it really reaches out into the broader community.
Absolutely, it's a hub for all things zero waste and sustainability.
That'll be fantastic. Okay, and so what are the starting hours? So it's Saturday?
Saturday from 10 till 7.
10 till 7.
And then on Sunday 10 to 4.
From 10 to 4.
Right.
Okay.
And there will be food and everything you can possibly want with entertainment. And, come and learn about worm casting, so the Compost Palooza, We'll show you how to compost correctly.
That sounds really exciting, and I am not being sarcastic at all.
No, it should be great. It should be really great.
But wow, that's an amazing opportunity. That'll be really exciting. And then, so for zero waste, the plans down the road, is this going to be an every year?
It's going to be every year.
Awesome.
Yep, we're definitely going to grow it and grow it and grow it. So next year we're really going to add in more sustainability, looking for some big sponsors. People don't realize that some of our biggest industry here in McMinnville, like the steel mill, that's 100% recycled metal that they're doing there, right? Or the rubber company, the Carlisle Rubber Company, which is on Alpine. That's all recycled rubber. So it's not just the little guy who has a garbage pail. Some of our big businesses are really doing incredible work here in McMinnville. And because of the landfill conflict, which was went on for decades, there's an articulated group which have really picked up the speed on things having to do with sustainability and recycling. Once again, wanting to do something in replacement for landfills rather than just be the no naysayer.
Right.
There are other ways to do this.
Yes.
And so we really encourage not only to volunteer for the Sustainability Festival, but Zero Waste has many positions. If you're obsessed with getting a bottle drop center here in McMinnville, if that's all you want to do, we will give you the support, maybe a little money, and we will work with you to do that. Or if you're obsessed with getting rid of cigarette butts, or if you want to change work to lower the garbage bills, the garbage bills are ever going up, and we need people in policy. It's a wonderful opportunity for people to get involved. You don't have to come to every meeting.
Right.
Some people love it.
Yes.
But if you just have a little niche thing that's sort of like the pee under the 20 mattresses that you really don't like about recycling that isn't working, and you want to dedicate some time, we're your organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Once again, go to the website.
Website for Zero Waste.
McMinnville,
and
right.
We will see you on June 4th and 5th at the second Mcminnville Recycled Arts Festival.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
And for all those artists still out there, it's a little late this year, but next year there'll be an opportunity, so get crafting.
Great.
Right.
Thank you for joining me today
Thank you
and
so
for
much.
telling
It was
me
really
all about it. This is great.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time.